course, to be peaceful and relaxed in a place like this with people like these is one thing, but to maintain that inner peace and inner relaxation when you're out there in the world, in the office, in the traffic, in the supermarkets, that requires something more. It's an intelligence to look after your inner self in an environment of stress and perhaps fear and panic. So let's start exploring what we understand by this word intelligence and the different kinds of intelligence that we're going to look at. So I take it you are intelligent, is that correct? Who admits to being intelligent? Not many. I was told this was Leicester's elite, no? Not true? This is also intelligent. Okay, so the one that we're most used to hearing about is, of course, this one, our IQ, and which stands for rational intelligence and reason and analysis and logic. And for many years, this was really the only one that we heard about. And it was a way to measure how well a person would do academically and in career and so on. And some measure of how well a person is able to use resources. If somebody scored high on an IQ test, we would say, well, she or he is very intelligent. However, this is no longer enough for successful living. Today, other kinds of intelligence are also required. So the next one up is known as IC, or as a person's intuitive capacity. And this really refers to the inner wisdom that each one of us has within ourselves. Sometimes called that small inner voice of wisdom. However, for most of us, our minds are too noisy for us to be able to listen to that inner wisdom. And this is where meditation is extremely useful, because it helps to reduce the chatter, the noise of the mind, such that I'm able to listen to my wisdom and use that in my decision making. I find that those of us who do that, who really respect our inner wisdom and use it in our daily lives, we are able to find solutions more easily to the questions and challenges which come up for us. Can I ask how many people here already do some kind of meditation? Yeah. Okay, and how many people here are meditators? Now you're wondering what's the difference. Why is he asking this question? Well, many people do meditation in the sense that to relax or to de-stress or to feel a little better, and that's fine. But for me, a meditator means that it's a lifestyle. That you build meditation into your daily life such that as you go through the day, you are paying attention to your thoughts. Every now and then you're checking to see your thoughts. Am I thinking uselessly? Am I thinking negatively? Am I thinking again and again of unnecessary things of the past? And so a meditator takes care of the mind through the day as a lifestyle and not just as a way to de-stress or to relax. Rather like a person who's keen to take care of their physical health, they will watch what they eat all the time. They'll take care to have exercise, so it's a lifestyle. And why this is important is because our thought energy is the most precious, the most valuable thing we have as human beings. I would say that your whole life is a reflection of how you are choosing to spend your thought energy. When we upgrade the way we use our thoughts, we would necessarily find positive changes in our life. But for most of us, we misuse our thought energy, we overspend it. Typically what happens is a person is physically in one place, but mentally somewhere else. Now you may be sitting here looking at me, but you may be thinking, what should I have for dinner tonight? Is anyone doing that? No, not here, huh? But most of us are either planning the future, what I will do later, or recycling some memory of the past. And hence, that wastage of thought energy impacts how well we're able to use our mind. So an aspect of IC is this, to be able to stop my thoughts, slow down my thoughts, listen to my own inner wisdom. And then the next one up, as is very popular now, is EQ. Emotional intelligence, and that's to do with my ability to understand and manage my own emotions, and then also my ability to understand how others are feeling, to be able to pick up how other people may be feeling. And for those of you who may be managers or leaders or, of course, parents, it's an essential skill to have your finger on the pulse to know how other people are feeling. But you can only do that if you're able to understand and manage your own emotions first. So let's take anger, for example. You may become angry, you may fall into this behavior of anger. And what happens when we feel angry is we waste a lot of energy. Notice when a person has been angry, for some time afterwards they are quiet. The person is recovering from this behavior. And how quickly can I lift myself out of a bad mood? How long does your bad mood last? How long is the average Leicester bad mood? 10 minutes, that's not bad, 10 minutes. Yeah. But it can happen that we fall into a bad mood and we stay like that for a day, a week or two, a couple of years perhaps. But to be able to lift myself up out of that is also a measure of my emotional intelligence. When one is in a bad mood, it's rather like there is a sign here saying, don't talk to me today. I am not available for you. And so when one is in a bad mood, then I am useless to myself, and also I am useless to others around me. People will find it very difficult to speak to one who is in a bad mood. And so therefore my usefulness is reduced. We will look a little more closely at emotions, where they come from and how to handle them. And then the top one, which is part of our exploration today, is this one, spiritual intelligence, and sometimes considered as a combination of the other intelligences. And again, there is no one set definition of what is spiritual intelligence, but there are two main factors. One is a sense of identity. In other words, how clear am I about my personal identity? Who am I? How do I see myself? What is the self-image of myself that I carry around in my consciousness the whole day long? And this is the most fundamental and important question in human life. Who am I? And I've discovered that the answer that you give to this question, that answer is the basis of how you live your life, how you handle people, how you deal with criticism, praise, etc. So let me ask you a little bit about this. So who here is let's say who here is a health worker? Any health workers here? Okay, there's a few over there.